Welcome to this beginner-friendly course on Langchain. Let me give you a quick overview as to what this course would contain. It will have a series of 4 videos. The first one being the one that you're watching, which is an introduction. And it's going to give us an overview of Langchain, and we'll build some basic code and see how it works. Langchain goes around some prompts. If you're familiar with ChatGPT, the entry that you give to ChatGPT or any of the large language models is called a prompt. And we'll see how these prompt templates are built. Then we'll chain them together into a concept called as chains. And this is what makes Langchain so powerful, where we're able to combine multiple prompts and build into single and multiple prompts. And then finally, we'll build a real world scenario where we can see how it all comes together in an agent. We look at the 3 components of agents, which are tools, large language models, and agent type, and specifically focus on 3 tools. The SERP API, which is used to scrape Google results, LLM Math, which allows the large language model to do maths, and Wikipedia. And we'll try to build some interesting cases on those. What is Langchain? Langchain is a framework for developing applications powered by different language models, such as ChatGPT. The ease of use is what's made Langchain so popular. Okay, so let's use Langchain to access ChatGPT and ask it a few basic questions. So what are the steps that we need to do? So the first step that we want to do in this case would be to install and import Langchain. That's the first thing that we want to do. Second thing that we want to do is to get access to OpenAI. So OpenAI would allow us access to ChatGPT and the other different large language models. Then we want to build an instance of our LLM. After we build an instance of our LLM, after we build an instance of our LLM, we can just simply query it. Okay, so let's get on with these 4 steps. So the first step would be just to install Langchain. Now you can do this by doing a pip install Langchain. Now, since I already have Langchain installed, I would simply go ahead and import Langchain. All right. Now, the next step would be to get access to OpenAI. So how we would do that is that from Langchain, we would have access to different LLMs. One of the LLMs is going to be OpenAI, or one of the providers of the LLMs is going to be OpenAI. Now, once we get access to OpenAI, we want to instantiate our first LLM. So let's say our first LLM, we would just call on to OpenAI. We will not keep any parameter as of now. We just simply say, give us that. Okay. Now, when we do this, we get an error. Now, the error is that we need to define the OpenAI's API key. So let's go ahead and get the OpenAI key. Let's Google OpenAI's API key. Once you click on this and log in, it's going to take you to your page where you can build secret key. After getting access to our API key, we can add that to our environment. So import of OS environment, and we can just add our OpenAI key to that. So OpenAI API key. And now once our API key has been filled in, we can now again go ahead and run the same code. So let's go and run the instance that we were trying to create before, and this time it runs. So now we have access to ChatGPT over here. So now we can go ahead and call upon ChatGPT. So let's start building a text. We can just ask it any question. Who is Donald Trump? Explain in 10 words, let's say. All right. Now this same information, sorry, I gotta activate this. Now we can give this information to our instant of ChatGPT, and here it goes. So it should be able to give this: Donald Trump is a US president and businessman. All right, fair enough. So it got that correct. Let's just say, okay, explain in a poem. All right. So So we can just pretty much use the same functionality that we get with ChatGPT, because you're accessing the same language model, and you can keep changing that prompt and it should be able to get it. But anytime it gets into a different context, it will probably take more time. And this part is really important. When you start looking at the time, I guess when you're building applications, this is what's going to become critical, is how long does the response time take? Because we're doing it ourselves, it's fine, but think about if there's a end user or a customer that's using, nobody's going to wait 25 seconds to get a poem for this. So your walls are high, your words are tough, you strive to make your presence seen, your words may sting and your politics may bluff, but your heart is kind and your spirit is clean. All right. Okay. In the next part, we're going to look at building prompts using prompt templates, and see you there.